brighten up those dark mornings. Wheeler, Ollie, and Lecter. Mornings at the Cabin.
Mornings at the Cabin, indeed. Wheeler and Lecter with you on your Monday morning. Mornings at the Cabin brought to you by Aurora Ford, driving the north. Just a note for any Aurora Ford customers. Aurora Ford will be closed today to the public due to some unforeseen circumstances over the weekend. Just wanted to get that message out there to you guys. Lecter, how was your weekend?
Not bad.
Well, you
Not
broke
bad.
Betty's heart. I'm just going to put that out there. I'm going to
know.
lay it out there on the line right away.
Broke Betty's heart.
Broke Betty's heart. I sent you the picture. Did you see the crestfallen, just heart wrench in her
I
face?
Did. Yeah. I bailed on our doggy date for those who are wondering.
Yeah.
Yeah. Finnegan and Betty were supposed to have a little play date.
Play date?
And I realized at some late morning yesterday, I was like, why did I make plans?
Right. I mean, you guys
We're
are
in the
moving.
middle of a move.
I understand.
What am I doing?
I understand. I can understand the reasons you did.
Yeah.
What I can't abide is the reasons you made the plan in the first place.
I know. I am a stupid idiot.
All right. One stupid's enough. You're not double stupid.
I don't know if Betty thinks that way.
I mean, she pretty much,
one might
as soon
not.
as we took her to the golf course, she pretty much forgot.
Okay, good.
She just ran her little butt off.
Good.
So, but yeah, that would have been fun. But totally get it. When do you guys have to be out of your place?
March 5th.
March 5th.
Yeah.
And where are you staying?
With Nicole's parents.
Yeah, that's what I thought. You're staying at the Garbutt's?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Full house.
Yeah, full house indeed.
We're going to have to make a movie or a TV show intro and everything. It'll be super wholesome. We'll be turning around and smiling at the camera.
I can't wait to see it.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast.
Aurora Ford brings you the Mornings at the Cabin program every morning, and we thank them for it. Going back to the weekends, you're moving. You're going to be living with your parents-in-law. Not really yet. They're not your parents-in-law yet.
I call them.
Pretty much,
You
right?
know, and I don't want to call them in-laws
In-laws.
because it's always like such a
sounds
negative
terrible.
connotation.
Like,
the in-laws.
The in-laws. No, you're your family. You're staying with family for a while.
That's
How's
right.
the house hunt going?
Non-existent.
Great.
If
Great.
I had a cricket sound effect,
Yep.
I would play it for you right now.
No.
No.
That sounded like a weird purr.
Oh, let's not get back into that.
What? Purring?
Yeah.
Oh, why?
Cat.
What about it?
Lynx.
Oh. Okay. Poor Martin. Yeah, so the market right now is not the best, or
No.
when real estate agents, of which I know a bunch, start talking about it's a seller's market, it's like, I guess we're not buying a house.
Yeah.
Because if it's a
Pretty much.
seller's market, then I'm not going to go out there and pay way more than a house is actually worth, which is what we do in Yellowknife anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so okay, that's depressing.
It's not great. No.
We wish you nothing but the best.
Oh, thank you.
All the luck in the world. We hope you find a good place.
Who's we?
We, the royal we.
You and Phoenix?
All of us.
Okay.
All of us here at Cabin Radio.
Oh, everyone's pulling for me. All right.
That's right. We're obviously, we're talking about it as well. We're in the second year of this rental space. They offered up another year, and we said no because we were thinking that we're aiming towards a house,
Right.
And we've got some money together and all that stuff, and we're starting to get into it. But I mean, we've had this talk as well. Like the market it's a bit of a seller's market right now, and it's so prices are up. Prices are up,
market.
and that means that I don't know. I mean, I'm not 100% cognizant or not cognizant or 100% knowledgeable about the housing market, but that sounds terrible to me. It's just like this house right now is $500,000. Next year it'll be $450,000. Great, let's buy it now then.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like a good idea.
Yeah.
I'm sure. You know what? Let's give Shane Clark a call. Okay.
No, he's not up.
He's not up yet. No one's up
Not a
this early.
chance.
No one's up this early. We're the only ones up this early. And people listening to Lauren McGinnis as well.
Well, he was telling me the other day he's just trying to get up these days in time for the 90s at 9. So
That's right.
there's
he pre-records.
there's no way Shane's up now.
Shane. Okay, I thought you were talking about Lauren. I was like, Lauren pre-records his runs, calls it 4 a.m., but he does it at like at midnight, and then he sleeps until 9.
What a slacker. Unky Lauren.
Oh, man. March 5th. Okay, so you were packing up all yesterday. That's why you had to cancel the doggy dates.
Yeah.
Packing up is the worst, but good on you for getting to it at least a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
I noticed you've been putting a lot of stuff on Salvagers Unite, including some paintings, which I immediately messaged you about and said, we'll take that one. And then I said, it's first come first. It's just in a garbage heap out back.
I literally looked outside after you messaged me that, and they were already gone.
Already gone?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Salvagers
That's crazy.
Unite.
No doubt, man.
What a page.
People just have that notification on their phone. It's like, oh, boom.
Oh, yeah.
It's like Free Art YK.
Yeah.
You can never get one of those.
Yeah.
Ever. Like, I always see the post, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, okay, 1 o'clock. I usually forget.
Yeah.
And then like look at 1:30, I'm like, But even if you go for 1 o'clock and you're out driving with a notification on your phone, there it is. Go. By the time you get there, it's gone.
Yeah.
You people are vultures.
The thing I love about Salvagers Unite is there's such a difference from person to person in how they perceive your post. Like, you put something out and it's just like, hey, I've got, this stuff. It's outside.
Yeah.
If you want it, come and pick it up.
Yeah.
And, some people will like immediately tag their friend. Usually like the first comment I see is someone tagging a friend. You wanted some of this, which is great. And then inevitably you always get a private message from someone.
Yeah.
And they're just like, hey, can I take one of those? It's like,
that's what the site's about.
Again,
read the post.
They're outside. Go get them.
It'd be great to put up a post. They're outside. First come, first serve. If I see anyone taking one without a private message, you will be shot.
I don't know have you ever seen Chrissy Kerrigan post something on, I think on Salvagers, and she's just like super blunt about it.
Just go and take it.
It's great. She's just like, I am not going to save it for you.
Yeah.
I am not. I'm just like,
no saves.
In no uncertain terms. Go. I don't want to deal with you. I don't want to talk to you. It's so good.
That's the way to do it.
It's so good.
We got to get Chrissy on the show. She did mention that she was going to come on this week.
Yeah.
I have not contacted her, but I figured Monday morning probably wasn't the best morning.
Probably not. No.
Get a Chrissy Kerrigan out of bed.
Yeah, she's definitely not up.
She's not a morning person. Well, again, wishing you good luck on the move. First of all, because the move is just the worst part. Packing up your stuff is just, it's the bane of my existence.
Because you got to time it all so nicely. You got to coordinate what you're going to need absolutely last.
Yep. Well, and that's what it trips me up every time, because I'll get into it and we'll start boxing stuff up, and then you'll just stop. It's like, well, we might need that before we leave.
Yeah.
Might need that before we leave.
Haven't used it.
Let's just
entirely. Haven't used it once in the last year, but we might need it in this last.
Are we going to need 10 forks before we go? Yeah, probably. All right, we'll leave them all in there then. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Anyway, wishing you the best of luck on the move and best of luck on your search in this seller's market.
I feel like I'm being written off the show for the morning.
That's right.
Can I go home?
Yes.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast where we cut out all the great music and you're left with the rest.
In the news, what's in the news today? Let's scroll through here. Canada stalls on trade pact. All right. But it was in the news. You heard it with Sibs. Yellowknife plans to new routes at a rebranded transit by 2022. Now, this may not sound exciting. I know what you're thinking. Bus routes. But a more efficient route to take buses is, that's always a good thing. We got some new neighborhoods, and there's some older routes that probably just don't get used that much.
But they're tradition.
They're traditional. That's right.
Can't get rid of them.
Can't get rid of them. People have been doing them before. But the new routes is exciting. The rebrand is even more exciting because they're yellow and blue, the very Yellowknife colors. They got the big City of Yellowknife thing on the side there. What can we expect to see? So, city plans for the next 5-year contract are set out in a request for proposals. Now, I'm thinking that Lecter and I do a little design work, maybe get together with Chrissy Kerrigan on the show a little later on this week, and send in a proposal for a new design for them buses. I like it. I like it a lot.
I like that.
New proposed routes. You can find them at cabinradio.ca. In 2019, an examination of existing 3 routes suggested Yellowknife could have a more efficient, frequent service by switching to 2 routes instead. Huh. There you go. Exciting stuff. This is why we pay these people.
We're getting rid of roots?
We're getting rid of a root.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I thought we'd be adding more.
Yeah.
Or yeah. Anyway, the redesign. I mean, we can go with the classic yellow and blue, but I thought Lecter and I could spin a couple ideas this morning. I think some racing stripes would look pretty sharp.
That would.
Maybe a like a fender flare or something, right? Maybe put a spoiler on the back end. Give it like an exhaust that growls up a little bit, like so you know the bus is coming.
Ooh,
yeah, that's right.
That's pretty cool.
If my city bus could brap, I'd be pretty stoked on it. Can you imagine? There's a reason you're not allowed to drive a Skidoo like that before like 7 a.m. because it's asinine. And it's super loud. Like, I get it. I love the sound, but still, if my bus did it though, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but those affected by it just simply make up for it by doing that at like 3 a.m.
That's right.
Rather than
I love it when they do that.
6
I love
in the
it.
morning.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. To just ride that thing as loud as you possibly can while people are skiing on Frame Lake. Just do it.
You gotta brap.
Otherwise, how's anybody know that you have a penis? That's a bad word.
I don't think you're allowed to say that.
I think that's the scientific word. Not that it's only dudes doing it. I shouldn't say that.
But
yeah, but I mean, come on. So, bus design ideas are going to be part of this proposal. So I'm hoping that like some local artists get involved. That'd be very cool to see some indigenous art along the buses, like to make the bus a little bit more eye-catching, a little less boring. Sorry, gold and blue. It's a very Sir John bus. I'm sure St. Pat's sees those city buses and like, you know what? Those are Sir John colors because they are gold and blue. Those are the Falcon colors.
I bet it burns them.
I bet it burns them a lot.
Each and every day.
That's right.
Maybe St. Pat's kids would make a point of actually taking the bus.
Yeah.
If it wasn't blasphemous to their school colors.
Right. If it wasn't blasphemous. There is some Republican in Texas right now saying taking city-funded or state-funded transit is blasphemy. It's got to be privatized. Has to be. So yeah, I'd like to see some local artists get involved. We'll get involved. We'll see what's up.
Now, how wacky are we allowed to go with?
I think we go wacky as hell.
Designs, yeah?
I think if we got someone who does some decent graph, that's graffiti in street lingo.
Yes.
That you could do something like that. I don't know if everybody would be into that. Obviously, not everyone's going to want to see that. But I mean, I think some indigenous art along the side would be a perfect complement to the city buses. And also, I mean, it helps with once tourism kind of comes back. You make the buses a little bit more attractive. It's like, oh, look at that bus. That looks amazing. Who did that? Well, a local artist did that. And it's, it's something like that.
You know, it would look really cool.
Yes.
A straight up
flames.
Just orca.
Or
just a whale. Just driving down Franklin
That
Avenue.
would, yeah. Can we just paint one to look like an orca or a panda?
How cool would that look?
I mean, a panda would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so the tourists would be like, oh, look, a panda.
Yeah.
I understand that reference.
Oh, man. You want to go viral.
Yeah, he's a
when
panda
those
bus.
tourists start coming back,
That's right.
They're going to be taking pictures of panda and orca buses. They would not be able to help themselves.
This is Pandy. This is Orky. There are buses.
Yeah.
That's a cool idea. Yeah. Has nothing to do with the North, but not really. Yeah, one could be a black bear. That would be kind of cool if you had an entire, just a total, a blacked out bus, blacked out rims, no chrome. Yeah.
We could honor the Lynx.
We could honor Marty the Lynx.
Yeah. But don't forget about his temper.
That's right. He's got a bit of a temper.
Marty was not all good.
And he likes to pick on things smaller than him.
That's
right.
If
we're going to humanize animals to the point that we're going to say when they die, humans should die instead, Marty was a bit of a jerk, picked on things that were smaller than him, and just kind of roamed around town eating garbage.
Just make sure, remember, but don't remember through rose-colored glasses. Marty had his issues.
Marty has issues. We keep on coming back to this Lynx. We're talking about buses right now.
One day we'll get over this.
But I think if we painted a bus to look like a Lynx, that's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think like putting in some requests or proposals from local artists would be. And I know this is what honestly. Maybe we say this about literally everything. Anytime there's a design thing, it's like give it to a local artist. It's done. There it is.
Never gonna happen.
Right? Yes. I don't get it. Like, we're putting out proposals. We didn't receive any proposals. Go to an artist's whose work that you all kind of enjoy, and be like, instead of waiting for them to write another friggin' grant, because that's all artists do with most of their time. Grant writing, trying to request for proposals for money, all these things. Like, that's all those are two of the same things, but that's all they do. It's like so much of their time. There are people, like, I know people who run theater companies, and 90% of their job is grant writing. Marie Coderre, like 90% of her job is grant writing and begging for money. Yeah. So, I mean, if you have
I don't
something,
think she wants to design
I don't think she wants to design the bus,
right.
But I'm just making an example.
Right.
So if you've got something that like requires some artistic flair or some new designs, go to a local artist and be like, what would you suggest? And then you have them design something, you put it on a wrap, and you wrap the friggin' bus in local art. This is not complicated.
Artists aren't the most like hey, they got to think about things though. So if you just went up and you're just like, what should we put on a bus? They'd probably be like, I don't know.
No. You give them. Every artist wants
We're
a gig.
in a hurry here,
Every
Jesse.
artist wants a gig. You give them a gig. Listen, we're going to let you design a bus. Come up with something, rather than being like, we're going to put a call for artists, because some artists are like, some people are legitimately too busy to spend, like hours and hours poring over like a proposal.
True.
Right? Like some artists have people write proposals for them. Others just don't have the time. They're either working or they're trying to like paint or create for other purposes and other gigs.
Bougie artists with assistants writing grant proposals for them.
There's only a few of us. Mostly because I can't write very well. But yeah, I mean, I'm oversimplifying it, but I mean, it seems like an easy thing. You want to redesign the bus? Don't get some design company to do it. Get an artist to do it. And put the wrap on the bus.
Just ask us. You don't even need to come up with the design. You just need to do it.
Yeah, just need to do it.
Just execute. We're the idea, guys.
Yeah, just execute. I don't understand. Again, probably oversimplifying it, but local art, when we're depending on so much on tourism, just makes the most sense.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast was recorded before a sort of live, thankfully not in the studio, audience.
And now it's time for a little segment we like to call Errors and Omissions. We here at Cabin Radio speak from the hip on Mornings at the Cabin most of the time, and sometimes react to stories before knowing full well what they're actually about. And I'd like to apologize for suggesting that the buses needed a rebrand, although that's what the story says, and that the city should just reach out to artists and hoping that they wrap them in their art. I mean, that still sounds like what it sounds like, but you did make a point that, like, you're like, it didn't say there wasn't a request for proposals for new designs.
Right.
But the story suggests that there's a rebrand coming, right?
Yes.
So that maybe means new wrapping around it, because that's what's on there right now, right? It's wrapped in vinyl. Those are the stickers that you see on them, right?
Yeah.
With the ads and the swoop that's supposed to be evocative of Northern Lights. And you know what? Enough with the Northern Lights, all right? That's what I'm just going to say right now. Enough with the Northern Lights. Enough of things being called Aurora. Brought to you by Aurora Ford. But
would you say they've had their time in the sun?
No, because that's not. You know what?
All right.
That's pretty funny. That's pretty good.
Okay.
All right. So just wanted to put that out there. God, I love that music.
It's
too short, but
you
you got to record it and put it on a loop.
Yeah, we may have made a point of, maybe figuring that out before we started talking.
No. I still semi disagree with you, because it does say Yellowknife plans new routes, rebranded transit.
I see. This is modern day journalism. This is why you can't just go with the headlines.
That's right.
You have to read the story.
It says it in the body of the story as well. Now, I'm not like, it says new routes. I don't imagine that rebranded transit is just like, you know what? We're not going to call it transit anymore. We're going to call it bus to go. Yeah, bus to go, or wheels on wheels.
Routes are us.
Routes are us. Yeah, or City Walk, the hop on, hop off bus. That'd be pretty cool.
That's not bad.
That's actually good. That would actually be kind of cool. You don't need a hop on, hop off bus, but someone could do a tour like that just around the city. I imagine most of the touring companies do that, like during the day, maybe.
Yeah.
When they are operating before they go for the Northern Lights, it's like they take them to significant spots around the city, right? So they take them to Pilot's Monument and the Dump. The best spots,
right? Yeah. But just to wrap it up, you got the artists all excited, thinking there was perhaps a new opportunity coming their way.
Listen, I was once an artist. We don't get excited about much.
Yeah. And there are no opportunities.
There are no opportunities. That's right. So there you go.
Well done. Thank you for clearing that up.
No problem.
I think this is well deserved. There's something to be said about like realizing when you've maybe like misstepped.
Yeah.
And calling it out.
Fair.
And making sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So well done.
Thank you. And as we continue, again, local artists for those redesigns and rebrands.
However, now that we're on the topic,
we don't want to call it mass transportation anymore. We want to call it get you to ride on time, or something like something skookum, something really pops, a lot of pizzazz to it, right? No one wants to take a bus,
no.
But do you want to take I don't know, some sort of locomotive,
a super shuttle,
Oh, wow, that's great. That's great. The Yellowknife Super Shuttle Service.
That's right.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. That's like when people think of shuttle, it's like, oh, it's almost like a limousine.
Yeah.
Right?
And why take any super shuttle when you can take a super shuttle that looks like an orca whale?
Okay. Again, with the orca, doesn't really connect with what we got going on up here. But I like the idea of an orca.
You can't deny it'd be cool.
You're right. I can't deny it'd be cool. How about a Lego block? Let's just paint one to look like a Lego block.
Okay.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
If we had some kind of funky buses, that'd be a neat little thing about Yellowknife.
No, that's
right?
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, when we get to the point where tourism is a
viable option for the
safe
economy.
thing again. Yeah, like who would be able to resist? You see an orca whale,
yeah,
sliding down the street.
Literally sliding during the winter.
Who could not take a picture of that?
That's right.
And put it on their gram.
Absolutely.
You want to increase tourism? You put a whale bus on the street.
There it is. There's the rebrand. The Yellowknife Whale Bus. Get in this whale. We really spent a lot of time on this. This is the most exciting story in the news this morning, by the way. Other than new development.
It's not even what the story was about.
I know it's not even really what the story is about. It also dropped 3 days ago. So we're a little behind. That's fine, though.
Yeah.
Rebrand the buses. Rebrand the buses. I don't want a new swimming pool. I want an orca bus.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast.
Mornings at the Cabin brought to you by Aurora Ford, driving the north. You've probably seen this this story. It's gone, viral or whatever. Do things go viral anymore? I mean, we're all connected to the internet constantly all the time. It's not as if you see everything basically, right?
No.
Yeah.
No.
All right, fair enough. This story trending the last few days. It's pretty hilarious, but also scary, right?
Mm.
A bear wandered into a toilet, an outhouse, while a woman was doing her business. And bear bit her bottom.
To be fair.
Now her bottom's big.
I'll do a little error and omission. The bear was already there.
Oh, the bear was there?
The bear was already there.
Oh, my goodness. So it's really her fault.
Well...
You can't poop on a bear and not expect the bear to do something.
I suppose, yeah. She was in the bear's territory.
That's right.
Technically.
I mean, she was. The outhouse is a bear's domain.
He was just letting her know.
Yeah.
Hey, before you start that, I'm down here, all right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Can
yeah. So, Shannon Stevens is the name of the lady.
Yes.
They were in Alaska staying at a remote yurt with her brother, Eric, and his girlfriend when the awkward close encounter occurred on February 13th, right before Valentine's Day.
Mm-hmm.
Bear's just looking for a Valentine. So she went to relieve herself at a outhouse about 150 feet away. Did not check the seat before sitting. Rarely do, right? Although I find, I've obviously done my business in an outhouse a lot.
Right.
A lot of camping, a lot of going to lodges, things like this.
Yeah.
Cabins, whatnot. I always check in an outhouse because I'm like, there's a raccoon or a porcupine down there or something, or just more flies than I'm comfortable with putting my junk into. Then I check.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's her fault. I'm just saying I always check.
That's the thing. I always do too.
Right.
But I've always just been convinced that it's just a weirdness inside of me.
No.
That I'm just like,
no.
I check that hole
Put
out.
it into
right?
Put it out there in nature. There's bugs around. There's wild animals.
But I would like to think, you know what? I would tell anyone else that, I was checking for bears. Of course.
I'm checking for bears.
That's what I was looking for.
I mean, that's what you have the excuse now. It's like, do you hear about that woman in Alaska?
Well, yeah.
She got her bottom bitten.
Now I'll never feel weird about it again. I'm just protecting myself. But up until this moment, when I was going to use an outhouse, I'd take a little look, but
for sure.
Yeah, never would have expected to see a bear or really anything else other than like bugs or something and, other stuff.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I mean, especially bugs, like bigger bugs crawling around down there because, bugs like poop.
Well, a bee might bite your bottom.
That's right. And your bottom would be big. She says she got up there, sat down in the toilet, and immediately something bit her butt as she sat down. So the bear was just like, oh, man, time to go for it. And she jumped up and screamed when it happened. Her brother came running out of the yurt to the sound of her screams, of course, and spotted her nursing her bear-bitten bottom in the snow. Ugh. So she pulled a Yosemite Sam after he gets his bottom burnt and just hops around and then puts her butt in the snow. It's the best place to do it.
Yeah.
She was still standing there with the pants down. What bit you? Where is it? He screamed. They both figured that a small animal such as a squirrel or a mink had done it. But Eric wanted to be sure, so he switched on his headlamp, ventured into the outhouse to investigate. The bear was waiting. He said, I opened the toilet seat, and there was a bear face just right there at the level of the toilet seat, just looking back at me through the hole. And he's like, hey, Goober, where's the meat?
That's a very cartoon-like scene.
It is.
That paint. Isn't it? Now,
just shut the lid as fast as you could. I bet he lifted it up, shut it. No. And then looked back, and the bear's just like,
Now, again, I don't think anyone would necessarily open a outhouse toilet seat and expect to see a bear face staring at you, but I'm also perplexed that someone would open a outhouse toilet seat and expect to see a mink.
A mink or a squirrel? Well, I mean, they're around the area, right? So it's a popular animal around the area.
I guess if it's an obvious bite, it's like, well, how many things could it have possibly been?
Yeah.
It's got to be a mink.
It seemed to be an exploratory nibble. Shannon says her injury was bleeding, but not serious. She felt a single puncture. There you go.
Just a little tasting.
Yeah. So there's a way out in the back of the outhouse. There's a rock wall, and there's a way for a creature to get in through that rock wall. Probably just pushed rocks over and got down in the hole.
Just kicked rocks.
Bear got in there.
Got on down there.
Bear's going for a meal. And then she said at the bottom of the story, I'm definitely going to look down in the hole next time. Yep. And so will we all, Shannon. And now we all have the excuse. Lecter thought it was just one of his peccadillos.
Good word.
That's right. Well, it's a scuttlebutt. That he looked in the hole. He thought it was just something to do with him. I do it too. But now we have an excuse when somebody goes, you checked the hole? I'm like, yeah. I'm not going to get my bottom bit by a bear. There it is. I'm not going to have a bear bit bottom.
You butthead?
Yeah. What's the scuttlebutt? Bears.
I do enjoy that later on in the article. It quotes a Carl Koch from the Alaska Department of Fish and Game Wildlife Management.
Gotcha.
Who says that he's never heard of such a bizarre encounter before, saying, quote, I wouldn't be surprised over the years if other folks had bizarre things, but during February, to sit in an outhouse and have something like that happen is very unusual. Yes.
It's probably climate change. I mean, maybe. You never know.
A bear? How highly strange.
A bear biting a bottom.
Also, we didn't give props to Global News for that opening line.
Yeah. Does a bear sit in the woods waiting for you to poop? Okay, Global. Taking notes from Ollie Williams.
That's pretty good.
That's going to do it for Mornings in the Cabin for today. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Have yourselves a great day. It's -30, so wrap up a little bit warm today. I don't know if you got to go Canada Goose, but you might as well. It's warm. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening. Check out more from the show at cabinradio.ca and by following the Mornings at the Cabin Facebook page.